So I've had quite a few requests for a video of this sort of nature. It's this video is going to be directed to people that are just thinking about going on their own, or they're going on their own, and I just want to basically say that, you know, I've been bricklaying for 20 years now, and I would say 10 of it has been in substructure and 10 of it has been in superstructure. So, and I've had quite a few questions about going on your own. So here is my advice, take it as you want it. But for me personally, if I was going to give any advice about going on your own, it would be to start off as a one-on-one in substructures. Reason being, they're very simple compared to building a superstructure, and you have to have a lot of knowledge to build a superstructure efficiently without problems. You have to have a lot of knowledge. You know, you could be good at laying a brick, but if you don't have that knowledge of, you know, your heights and keeping your cavities right and wall ties right and damps right, with substructures there's not a lot of damp usually you don't put any in until the DPC height. Sometimes you have a little bit extra raised DPC, so you put an extra couple of courses in, but you put a raised DPC under it. So there's a lot of substructures are like square boxes with a couple of service holes, which usually get sprayed out by the ground workers. So, and then you just need to understand your heights, which is usually put round on a pin. Anyway, so it's really not that hard once you've got your head around it. All you need to know is your underside of beam, where your service holes go. You need to know the makeup of the floor to hit DPC height. So let's say underside of beam is 3 blocks and 1 briquette. You need to know the makeup of the beam and what the screed course will be on top. So usually it's beam, which is 155, and then a block. So you would know that your from underside of beam, your brickwork on the outside would be 375 or 380, because the beams come up at 5mm bigger to gauge. So it's really not that hard. But what I'm going to do today, I'm on my own today. Tyler's not in this morning. So I'm going to have to knock up for myself, look after myself, and load, lay, everything. So I can give a really good instruction today on how to go about building a footing. I haven't got my profiles, I left them at the other job. So I'm going to show you how I go about building a substructure on my own. Bricklaying, like, for price workers is a bit like football, I suppose. You've got Sunday leaguers who are out on a piss every weekend. You know, the fitness isn't great, and it really does affect your quantity. You know, and you got a few professionals out there, but there's not many professionals out there. There's a lot more Sunday leaguers out there, and a lot of them don't really earn that well, because they're, first of all, they're not fit enough. So you get a lot of people that have the knowledge, because subs really aren't that hard once you know how to do one, but then the people that know how to do it usually aren't fit enough to actually get some good numbers down. So it's a bit, you know, like, you could compare it to professional footballers against Sunday leaguers. You know, they might know how to kick a ball about, they might know the rules, but they're not fit enough. And that's a bit like what bricklaying is like when it comes to getting numbers down and knowing your job. But what I want to show today is every stage you need to go through. So I'm going to talk a little bit now about what you need to do, what you need to ask if you're going out on your own and you don't know what to say, you don't know what to ask, you're a bit intimidated by the thought of it. So I want to go through what you would go through and what you would ask and how you go about it. And also, if you are going on your own, you have to be very transparent on what you do know and what you don't know, because things are always changing. So you should never feel like you can't ask about something you're not sure about, because me personally, I would rather someone come up to me and ask me how to do something than just try and do it and get it wrong. But I've had to ask so many questions through my career as a bricklayer that, you know, you wouldn't know the answer to unless you ask someone, and things are always changing. But anyway, so when you turn up to site, obviously you're gonna get inducted. The first thing you need to obviously sort out are your drawings with the groundwork foreman. There are a few questions you need to ask. So first thing you'd ask is, is there any raised DPC? Raised DPC is, so if you have a standard substructure to build, it will have the underside of beam to get to, and it will have your brickwork around the outside. You need to find out how many courses of brickwork they want on show. It's usually somewhere in between 4 and 2. So you need to figure out where your underside of beam is. You need to find out the makeup of the beams and the floor. So you need to ask, what is the height from underside of beam to the DPC level? Once you know that, like for instance, on the site I'm about to go to today, I've been here before, I know the raised DPC, the DPC level is at 380. It is a beam and 1 block on when they go back to do the screed, because they put their beams on, then you go back later on and you put a block around the inside. So that is a 380 makeup to the DPC level on the outside. Once you know that, you then need to ask the question of, is there raised DPC? So raised DPC is where the ground level on the outside is a bit higher than the standard height of the outside. So raised DPC, you would probably most likely be putting an extra, so the height of the DPC level, I don't need to put any DPC in, but when there's raised DPC, I need to put the DPC in at the finished floor level, and then put the extra on top, which is an extra 2. So that's something you need to look out for and need to ask for. The next thing you need to ask for is there underbuild? So underbuild would be where the ground level is lower than the standard height of the ground level. So, you know, and they will tell you how you need to ask them and get it put on the drawing. You need to ask, is there any underbuild? They'll go yes, they'll go no. And you know, the best thing you can do is say, could you put that on the drawing please? Get the plot number put on it. That way it covers you for, you know, if they make a mistake, because everyone makes mistakes. They could accidentally give you the wrong plot number, but if you get the plot number put on the drawing, ask them to put, is there any raised DPC? Get it, put it on there, no or yes. Is there any underbuild? Yes or no. Get it put on the drawing. The tam downs are the ones that I'm working with on this site for the work, and they're very good, to be fair. I've been on a lot of tam down sites, and I've never really had a problem with any of their building off of their footings. You know, there's been a few mistakes here and there in my career as a bricklayer, but not many for them. So these are the sort of things you need. This is what you need to ask for before you even get onto the job. Before you go over, you need to get some drawings printed off. You need to get the underbuild and the raised EPC. Once you know that, you're pretty much good to go. The other thing you want is for them, I actually like doing my own service holes as long as it's drawn well on the drawing. I think my brother rang me up the other day and he says, oh, one of your service holes was half a block out or something like that in one of the middle walls. So, you know, even I still make mistakes. So don't be worried about making the odd mistake here and there. But I would personally recommend that you get the foreman to come over or the engineer to come over and spray them on the floor. That way you're covered. If there's any holes, you can go back and sort it out on day work. But these are the sort of things you need to be asking before you get onto the plot. I'm not far off getting there, so I'll see you on the footing and we'll see what we're working with. The old Monday clubbers are at full force today. I've just got here and seen Tom, no brother, no labourer for them. My labourer's not turned up. Monday clubbers at full force. I'll race you, Tom, yeah? I'll finish my one next to you before you, and you've had a head start, look, yeah? I'll give you a handicap. Right, so I have the drawings. I spoke to the groundwork foreman. Before you even think about loading the plot out or starting the plot, the first thing you need to do is check your pins and check your heights. You don't want to be miles out. So let's go around and we'll have a quick check, make sure the measurements are within 10 mil and make sure the heights aren't too bad. We've got 8 meters, 990, so we'll just whack that on the pin. It's good. 10 meters 565 to the dot. Lovely. And then I'm just going to check that one and check that one. Right, so I checked everything's spot on. Next check would be the heights, which is your underside of beam. This is the height that your beam sits on. This is not the height that your outside brickwork goes to. This is the height that your internal wall goes to. If you can see over there that brickwork is a lot higher than the internal, that's the underside of beam. That is underside of beam. So we just need to go around and check the pins, put it on the pin, top of tape. It's always top of tape. So we have 900, 4/4 block. 900. To be fair, that's another great footing from town down. So checks are done. The groundworkers have done their job to the letter. Absolutely spot on. Good to crack on. I'm happy with that. So the next stage would be to chuck a few blocks out. It's quite a deep footing. It's 4/4 block, so that's 8 courses to load out for one wall. Right, I'm going to set you on time lapse. I'm going to get stuck in. I've got to make my own mark. I've got to get loading out. So I'm going to get stuck in for a bit, and I will, when there's something important to talk about, I will stop time lapse and give any advice that I think needs giving. Right, so I've just gone and chucked one in. I've just put my stopwatch on. I'll leave it over there for 10 minutes, load out for 10 minutes, go back over, chuck another one in, come back, load out for 10 minutes, go back, tub will be done, comes over, away you go. Right, so we are loaded out. what I don't want to do is load out the whole plot completely, and then Tyler comes in and I just have to dish muck out all day. I don't want to tire myself out. I've worked a lot on my own, and I know sort of what numbers I can get down on my own, so I try to load out enough for that for the day. I don't want to waste energy overloading loading walls I'm not going to lay the next day, because I'd rather get blocks over that night to then load that out in the morning when I've got a bit more energy. I loaded out 7 packs, which is more than enough for me for one day. So the muck's got another 2 minutes. I'm going to go over there, tip that out, get that over, completing blockwork walls as I go. You have to use your time wisely, especially when you're working on your own. Timing is very important. So what I don't want to do is go over there, chuck a tub in, get back, and then be like this. Oh, I need to sort my loading out first, and then do my jointing up. You need to go chuck one in. I now know that it's a bucket and a half of water roughly. It takes about 10 minutes to knock up, so I've literally lobbed it in. I'm going to come back now. I'm going to joint up what I've done on the outside, join up what I've done on the inside, give the boards a quick clean, and then give it a quick reload. In that time, I should have knocked up a whole tub, and then when a tub comes over fresh, you need to be using it up. So you don't want to be then caught out trying to join up and reload when you've just had a fresh tub brought over. You want to have jointed up, reloaded, and then quickly get through the muck as quick as you can, because it does have a bit of a shelf life once you've knocked it up. Then you have to start knocking it up. It's all about timing. So I'm gonna, like I say, I'm gonna have a joint up. I've got about 8 minutes until I've got to go back over there, tip that one out, chuck another one in, and then another 10 minutes for that. So in that time, I should have jointed up, reloaded, and then I'm ready to jump on the next wall as well. It weren't a bad day in the end. I've got 4 done over there, which is underside of beam. I've done 3 this side because the airflow comes in and around that way. And what I like to do is go through the brickwork first. I'll know where the doors are. I'll know exactly where to put the airflow, and then I'll come back in at a later date and just run that course through, because you'll have lintels in the blockwork. So it's best, I find it best just to do solid where I can, and then just leave off the course from near the top for the lintels. Right, boards are clean, tools are clean, everything's packed away, used all the muck up. It is 3:15 and I am off skis. Done. So I just want to have a quick shout out to, oh, I've forgotten his name, Morgan won the free raffle for the Bricklayers tool, so well done Morgan. I hope I'm saying that name right. Also, raffle ticket thing wise, I've got on Wednesday, I think it'll be Wednesday, it's going to be another freebie, another free raffle, so it literally costs you nothing. Obviously I'll leave a link to it. You've just literally got to get a ticket and you might win a free DeWalt radio with battery. So I'm going to be doing quite a lot of freebies, you know, like tools like around worth about 100 quid or something, or about 100 quid's worth a couple of times a week. So if you don't want to miss out on having a chance of winning a free tool or a free radio or whatever, check out my raffle page and make sure you don't miss any. And also there's one up at the minute. It's a 50p raffle for a brand new steel cutter, so yeah, get involved. What the fuck are you laughing at?
The gate ain't down there anymore, mate.
I know, did you see that? Here, look, I got a tool for you.
Did they send you one out?
Yeah.
You're a fucking legend. You're a legend.
See you later.
Cheers, Chaz.
Oh,
What?
I got a free raffle going up on Wednesday for a DeWalt radio. Make sure you enter it, it's free raffle.
What have we got to do then? What's it on your Insta?
Yeah, it'll be on, I've got a raffle page. I've got a couple of tools up on there, like 50p raffles, like steel cutters and all that. But there's a free one. I'm doing a free one a couple of times a week. So get involved, son.
I need your raffle page then, don't I?
Yeah. If you just go on my Instagram, you'll find it.
Oh, is it on there? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Chris.
See you later.
Oh, cheers, mate. Take care.
It's one of the ground workers as well, alright. Always giving me fucking tools away. Right, anyway, I hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope it helped, and I'll see you in tomorrow's. Tomorrow's will be like I've got obviously more block work to crack on with. So it'll probably just be a time lapse, and then I'll just try and explain anything that needs explaining. So yeah. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, goes a long way, and yeah, I'll see you in tomorrow's.